Those are excuses. They don't help you get closer to your goal. They just take you away from the responsibility of getting it done. So let go of excuses. Figure it out. There is always a way. I like this NYX eyebrow powder pencil. Oh, so this is new. And I love it. Because I have like greasy eyebrows that nothing sticks to it. Nothing, not powder, not pencil, not gel. This? You kidding me? Stays on. Not even stays on. That was never the issue. Going on. You know what I used to do? Going to Barnes and Nobles, any bookstore, I would also go there and sit down and just read. So I didn't have to buy the book because I couldn't afford it. Speaking of not being able to afford, money. Money. You do need money to get shit done. You'd be surprised with how much you can do and how creative you could be with little money, but you do need some money. Punk, what you doing with your money? Are you spending it on these products that I'm telling you to click in the link below? Or are you putting some aside for a savings so you can have some sort of financial security and or buy the thing that you want? A camera, oh my goodness, how I had to save for this camera. I would always put aside 10% of everything I earned. And within, I can't remember how long, but I remember the most money I ever saved was $10,000 when I was cocktailing. It was the best feeling ever. And the more I started to see it grow, the less I wanted to spend because I worked so hard to get that number there. So putting money aside. Every day, every moment, we are presented with choices. You have a choice. You could choose to spend. You could choose to save. You could choose to say yes. You could choose to say no. But you have a choice. And that's the beautiful thing about life. You can always make a different choice in a different moment. So if you made a mistake yesterday, or if you weren't happy with how yesterday panned out or last year panned out, guess what? Today's a new day. Today's a new year. And you can choose right now to change. Girl. Next, eliminating negative baggage. We all carry baggage with us. No one is free of it. So let it go. If you watch negative shows, stop watching negative shows. If you have negative friends around you, spend less time with them. If you have negative family, because that's a thing, just bite your lip, save that money. Ooh, because once you're under that roof, you gotta abide by the laws. Negative gossip sites. Bye-bye. If you enjoy it for entertainment, then just be prepared that that negative energy will stay with you. You can't isolate it to just entertainment and reading. If you're taking it in any form, it's going to follow you. It's just frequencies and energy. If you are around positive people, you think positive things, you do positive things, you are constantly surrounded by affirmations, prayer, like good vibes, that is bound to come to you. Alcohol, weed, excessive sex. Oh man, I'm telling you. When you start to focus on you, you will be floored at what you can accomplish. And I'm speaking this from experience, like, because I did it all. Alcohol, weed, sex. I let it go. And how does a kid raised by a single mother in a basement in Toronto end up in Los Angeles, living in a loft with a Jeep, with an office, with staff, with a whole team. This shit's real. But you have to put in the work. You gotta do you, bro. Okay, let me do this. This is hard. Yes. Okay, I can't talk and do that at the same time. And my favorite liquid liner is also NYX, the matte liquid liner. Okay, so I talked about getting rid of negative baggage. Once you get rid of that, you gotta replace it with positive affirmations, yo. I cannot tell you the amount of time I spent on the New York subway train just repeating the same affirmation over and over again. You would think I was crazy. But now that I see where it's brought me, I ain't crazy. You're crazy to not do it. So the one that I would always repeat was, I have more than enough time and energy to do all that I love. Because I have a lot of loves. And then I also had, I can do all things through Jesus Christ who strengthens me. And I would write them on little cards, and I would put them in, like, you know those name badge holders? I'd have it in that so it wouldn't get all old. And I would just hold it and read it over and over and over again. The next important step is to find a mentor. Before you do that, do as much work on your own as possible. Have a body of work. Have accomplished something in the area that you're passionate about or pursuing before going up to someone and asking for help. I actually stressed this at my meet and greet in Toronto. Somebody had asked me, you know, what would it take for them to come into my life so I can mentor them? And I said, do you have a website? Do you have socials that reflect what it is that you're trying to do? And I don't mean personal socials. I mean, like, say you are a writer. You should have a blog. You should have links to work that you've done that are published. If you're a photographer, you should have a website. I mean, everyone should have a website. And you should have worked with other people. When I was looking for an internship with a photographer, I had a portfolio, a printed portfolio, I had a website, and I had references. Because the last thing you want to do is ask someone who is crazy busy, successful, for their time in exchange for what? Yes, people want to help. Everyone is constantly looking at what's in it for me. Even if they will not admit it, there is always a sense of what's in it for me. So when it comes to looking for a mentor, if you're asking a successful person to give their time, you got to think, well, why would they give their time to me? Why not to somebody else? So you got to make sure the trade-off is good. Like, I have experience, I have drive, I have passion. You got to think strategically, because you have to keep in mind that this person has 20 other people like you asking for the same thing. And that other person might be saying, hey, look, I'll get you coffee every morning. And on top of that, my portfolio is wicked good. So not only am I talented, I'm humble. That goes really far in life. So, what do you have to offer this busy, successful person? Better be something. Better be something. And I'll tell you this much. Successful and talented people want to surround themselves with successful, talented people. So, and success is relative. So long as you have good work, or they can see something in you, the hustle, the drive, then you're good. Whew. Then, find your community. It's so important to find people. We as human beings are social creatures. You can be an introvert all you want, but at the end of the day, solitary confinement is a real thing, which means to say we need human contact. So, find your community. When I moved to New York City, I had no one. No one. And I didn't want to work in my house because I lived in the projects. And I was doing photography, and I was like, where can I work that I don't have to invite people over? So then I started looking for shared artist workspaces, and that's when I found Con Artist.